Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a mission, but not through charts or quarterly reports. We're going somewhere much more intimate.
Right.
We're exploring the language spoken beneath the skin, the silent story your body is telling, right now.
That's a perfect way to put it. For this deep dive, we're really shifting our perspective. You are not just a collection of biological systems that occasionally malfunction. We're approaching the body as a kind of historical archive, a living library of every unspoken feeling, every forgotten moment. It's really the ultimate communicator of the unconscious mind.
So the mission then is to become fluent in this hidden language.
Exactly.
It means learning to read the tensions, the tremors, and the eloquent silences that tell a story the conscious mind might have found too inconvenient to keep.
Or too painful.
Or too painful, yeah.
Right.
We're basically asking, what is the body trying to say when the words run out?
We're looking at the symbolic weight they carry. Because the conversation is happening, whether we're listening or not, it's time we paid attention to the grammar of the flesh.
And one of the most immediate ways this conversation starts is, well, it's often in front of a mirror. You know the reflection is accurate, but sometimes the image staring back at you feels subtly foreign.
Yes, that moment of reverse reflection, where the translation feels just a little bit flawed.
Right.
It's the feeling of displacement taking hold.
Yeah.
You lift your right hand, the reflection lifts its left, it fulfills the contract of the mirror.
But the gesture feels hollow.
Exactly. Or the reflection seems to be holding a secret. There's that quiet moment where it seems to lean in, like it's about to whisper something urgent, and then nothing.
It's so frustrating. It's like the body is speaking in these gaps, these spaces between what you want to do and what you actually do.
It is. I find it fascinating how this shows up in these sudden physical refusals. Yeah, in the most mundane parts of life. Why does the body choose, say, a finger or a knee to carry such a profound story?
I've always wondered about that.
It's because the unconscious speaks in symbols. And the symbol has to be both very specific and permissible in a way. So think about it. Your finger's freezing on a doorknob. It's not because the lock is stiff. It's because your fingers remember a room, an emotional territory that was never allowed to be entered or left.
Or the knees, when you're facing a flight of stairs, they suddenly recall a fall. But it's an emotional fall that never actually happened on those steps.
Precisely. It's like the body performs a short, silent play about a repressed moment.
And what about the voice? That's a powerful one.
The throat is perhaps the most eloquent symbol of all. That quiet rebellion when a thought is perfectly formed, it's ready to come out, but your voice just cracks or vanishes completely. The larynx becomes a sentinel. It's guarding a secret, a forbidden word, a boundary, a truth that the conscious mind decided was just too dangerous to say out loud.
So we shouldn't see that as just a malfunction.
No, not at all.
It is pure language. A language without an alphabet only. Pulses, tensions. And it doesn't speak to resolve anything, does it?
It speaks only to reveal the underlying conflict.
And that revelation often starts when the mind is relaxed, which I suppose brings us to this idea of latent content.
Exactly. The material that has been repressed but is still actively shaping our psychic life.
So for anyone less familiar with that term, latent content, what is it exactly? Is it just a forgotten memory?
It's much more active than that. A latent content is the underlying symbolic meaning of a dream, or a slip of the tongue, or in this case, a physical symptom.
Okay.
So if the dream itself is the manifest content, what you see on the surface, the latent content is the deeply buried wish or fear that drove that imagery.
So with the body, the symptom is the manifest content.
Yes. And the emotional biography it guards.
Yeah.
That's the latent content. It's the truth the body is still trying to process, maybe decades later.
Which brings us to that potent image that can surface in a half-dream state.
The long, dim corridor.
The one with the breathing walls. You feel like you're wading through something dense, like memory itself, towards a door at the end that isn't locked, but just waiting.
And that corridor, it represents the passage into your own past. Your feet move slowly because you are literally wading through memory. You resist, but the path is set.
And there's always an interruption.
Always.
The hand that rests on your shoulder, but it belongs to a time you don't inhabit anymore. You turn and you see your child self, curled inward like a question mark.
And that child is holding something. A bundle, wrapped in cloth, tied with a ribbon the color of dusk.
What's in the bundle?
The bundle is the weight. The accumulated weight of every unspoken want, every forbidden image, every feeling that was forced underground. And the moment you jolt awake, That's the adult censor, interrupting the recovery.
It's so compelling because your adult mind can argue its way out of any truth but the body.
The body never forgets what the mind buries. It just holds the weight.
So how does that historical weight actually manifest? Physically?
We see it as stiffness where desire pooled. The wish to move, to embrace, to express something that was deemed inappropriate, so it froze into rigidity.
And aches.
We see the aching where shame settled, those places where we were touched or we spoke in a way that led to someone pulling away, and the trembling.
The chronic trembling.
That's where fear never got a name. It just became this nervous energy trapped in the muscles. We were taught, sit still, don't fidget. But now the body is finally responding to the whispers beneath those orders.
So the body is a literal biography.
It is. Written in muscle, etched in nerve, archived in every cell that remembers what your conscious mind politely erased. The physical self is the ultimate historian.
And that persistence probably explains why certain experiences, certain dreams, feel so universal.
It does. It leads us directly to what we could call universal symptoms.
Right. I think we all recognize those classic nightmares. Running with legs of lead, you're trying so hard, but you get nowhere.
Or falling endlessly. The ground never comes to meet you.
And maybe the most terrifying one, opening your mouth to scream and no sound comes out. Why are these so common?
Because they are the universal symptoms of a fundamental human rift. They represent the gap between what we feel and what we allow ourselves to show.
The legs of lead.
That's the body rehearsing the inability to flee a trauma or to move toward a forbidden goal. And the unscreamed sound is the lifelong censorship of your own necessary voice.
It's the gap between the child who instinctively reached out and the adult who learned to pull back. And the body is the bridge trying to hold it all together.
And bridges that carry too much in silence, they tremble. We see the consequences of this constant vigilance in our waking lives, and we usually just call it stress.
Right, like the headaches that bloom at your temples, like a crown of forbidden thoughts pressing their way out.
Or the stomach aches that coil like unsaid confessions, the emotional truths you just can't digest, and maybe most of all, that profound exhaustion.
That isn't from work.
Not from physical labor, no. It's from the endless psychic labor of keeping essential parts of yourself locked away.
So if we accept that the body is writing this biography, we have to look deeper into what you call the archaeology of longing.
Yes. The body as an archaeology site. Every persistent ache is a dig site. Every tremor is a fossil record.
Because desire doesn't just vanish when it's repressed.
No, it's a powerful energy. It has to migrate. It slips from the forbidden emotional zone into a permissible physical one. It puts on a mask.
Let's unpack that displacement a bit. How does a moment of repression in childhood translate into, say, a physical pattern decades later?
Well, consider a child who was naturally curious, who touched their own body with innocent wonder and was met with disgust.
Okay.
That child might become the adult who flinches at their own reflection, or who develops skin issues, constantly scrubbing, trying to cleanse a transgression they don't even consciously remember.
Or the child whose mouth was silenced.
Yes, who learns to swallow their tears, their rage, until their throat tightens like a fist.
You think you've moved on from those early emotional rooms, but your nerves are still living there.
Precisely. We all have that metaphorical low-ceilinged room where we once reached out for warmth, for closeness, and someone said, "Not like that." Or worse.
Said nothing.
Said nothing at all. And that silence became a life sentence of self-correction.
And the body replays that scene as a symptom. The knee that buckles when praise comes too close. Because that acceptance feels like exposure.
Because the body remembers that being seen once led to pain. Or the hand that trembles when you sign your own name. The very act of claiming yourself feels dangerous.
This also seems connected to that deep hunger that doesn't live in the stomach. We try to fill it with food, with work.
But the hunger persists.
Why?
Because that hunger lives in the wrists, heavy with unused gestures.
Yeah.
The hug you didn't give, the hand you didn't reach for. Your childhood lives in your reflexes.
The way you freeze when a door slams.
Not because it's loud, but because a slammed door once meant love just left the room. It's the exhaustion of holding back who you are.
We've been taught to see this ache as a flaw, something to be fixed or medicated. But if the unconscious doesn't accuse, if it only aches, what's the shift we need to make?
The only way through this is attention. Not analysis, not fixing. We have to realize the body is sending signals through a whisper, not a rage. We have to stop trying to solve the ache and start listening to the memory inside it.
So it's about reframing the pain. It's not an error message. It's an intimate question directed at you, the listener. It's pausing and asking gently, what were you trying to tell me before I learned to stop listening?
That sincere inquiry changes everything. Think about those classic symptoms through this new lens. That knee pain isn't a malfunction, it's a question.
Do you remember when you knelt and weren't lifted up?
Right, and chronic fatigue isn't just laziness, it's an echo.
You've been carrying what was never yours to hold.
Exactly. And the knot in your stomach isn't just stress, it's a memory.
You learned to digest everything, even what you couldn't swallow.
So we meet the ache not as an enemy, but as evidence. Evidence of a self that never ever stopped trying to speak its truth.
We just have to stop interrupting the messenger.
And that shift from interruption to attention is the key. You don't even need to interpret every single tremor. You just need to stop silencing them. Allow the tightness to be there. Meet it like you would a child holding something fragile.
Instead of saying, that's not real, you say, show me what you're holding.
And in that space, tenderness grows. You start to realize you're not broken. You are simply remembering.
The body wasn't failing you, it was calling you home to a truth you once knew, before fear divided you from yourself.
And you walk into the day more porous, ready to feel. Your steps are lighter, not because the weight is gone, but because you're no longer dragging it like a chain.
You're carrying it now, like something fragile, like something beloved.
Yeah.
The dream isn't over. It's just found a new way to live through you, in how you breathe, how you pause. The body is not a problem to be solved, but a language that, finally, demands to be learned.
And the thought we'll leave you with is this. Consider the last physical symptom you dismissed as just an ache or stress. That flutter, that chill. What if it wasn't fear of the future, but the memory of a sensation, a core need that once felt like home but was called wrong? Let your body speak and listen for the echoes.
Until next time.